Okay, we are back. You just heard Steve Carney and I break down all things Major League Baseball as we head to the playoffs. And now we're on to the National Football League, and we're gonna do another part of our Life of the Wife series. We're very pleased to have Jessica Heiden. Jessica's the wife of Steve Heiden, who's the tight ends coach for the Arizona Cardinals. Steve was a player in the NFL for 10, 11 years with the Chargers and the Cleveland Browns. And he's been in the league coaching now for several years with the Arizona Cardinals. So we'd like to welcome Jessica Heiden to the podcast. Appreciate you joining us, Jessica.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Jessica. So first thing before we get to the questions, we were supposed to talk a few days ago, and then right before that, you had a flat tire.
Yep, life of I call it the single mom during football mode here. I'm a single mom. Yep. So woke up and ready to do my podcast with you. 6:37 in the morning, I wake up and I'm like, oh, flat tire. Like, how am I going to get 3 kids to school and get all, 2 to one school and 1 to another? And so fortunately, my neighbor had a pump. We have a Facebook Messenger group for our neighborhood, and I put it out there and I was like, help, I have 3 kids. I got to get them to school. My tire is completely flat. And fortunately, he responded right away, and he had a pump and came over and just pumped it up for me. And then I was able to get my kids to school, and then I got, unfortunately, I had to get all new tires. You can't just get one tire. You have to get all new tires. So yeah.
Yeah, that was just, like I said, that was just a funny little anecdote. I didn't want you to have a flat tire, but that's just a great example of something that.
Yeah, I was like, I have a good excuse. I can't make it.
Yeah, and that's just something those are the things that come up during the day, during the year that you have to handle on your own. And, with Steve's
unfortunately, he was at work, and he was like, if you need me, I can come home. And I was like, well, let me try this. So we got it working.
All right. So the first question I like to ask all the ladies is, how many times have you moved?
Oh, geez. Let's see. Moved to San Diego when I graduated college, and then moved to Ohio. Then we moved to Minnesota, and then now we're in Arizona. So that's 4. So fortunately, not bad.
Not too bad. That's right. Yeah, I know lots of other people. Now, when did you meet? When did you and Steve meet?
We met in college. We met, I'm trying to think what year it was. I think it was 2000, summer of 2000.
Okay.
We met in college. It's kind of a horror. I mean, it's not the most romantic Cinderella story, but we met at a bar. He was the bouncer, and I was just someone getting in, and then we just kind of, struck up a relationship that way, and just got to know each other, obviously outside of the bar.
That's right.
But we've been going strong since then. And it's crazy. We're coming up on 19 years of marriage here. It's crazy.
That's great. Mm-hmm. Now, you guys both went to South Dakota State?
South Dakota State. Yep. Brookings, South Dakota.
Yep. So now, is that where Steve's from as well?
We're both from Minnesota. He's from the very southeastern part of the state, and I'm from the southwest part of the state.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yep.
So when Steve got through with his college days, he made the NFL. Did you know that he had a pretty good opportunity to make the NFL? And what were your thoughts of kind of that, thinking of that life as the girlfriend probably at the time of a guy trying to make the NFL and that lifestyle?
Yeah. So he got drafted. He didn't finish college. So he went right to San Diego, and I still had a year to finish. And that's kind of right when we started dating, is right when he got drafted. So we had to spend that first year long distance relationship, which is hard, but I mean, we did it, we made it work. And then I spent that last year, and I graduated college, and then packed up a U-Haul, drove out there, and lived with my cousins. My one cousin went to SDSU there, and she played basketball, and her sister lived with her. So I lived with the 2 of them on the SDSU campus. So that was kind of wild too, but it was only 20 minutes from where Steve lived. So drive back and forth. So that was neat, but I only ended up being in San Diego for 9 months, and then he got traded to Cleveland. So, but it was fun.
Gotcha. So before you guys, I mean, at that point, you guys pretty much thought that you were going to be kind of a forever, you were going to make it, that as far as you thought you were going to, you thought probably obviously making the move down there that, hey, this is Steve's the guy. any trepidation with your families and all that of Jessica, pulling up shop and driving this?
Yeah, right. What is she doing? Yeah, driving across the country to San Diego to this guy. No, I mean, obviously you gotta know. I mean, you're driving across the country for someone. So, but at the time, I knew I loved him and he loved me, and it was really not a question of anything. It was just like, yeah, let's do this. Let's make this work. Let's do it the right way. I'll just move out there and, we'll see each other whenever we can. And so, yeah, I mean, the rest is history.
How was it difficult for you, obviously moving to a brand new city, not knowing anybody really, with his schedule, not that he didn't have time for you, but there wasn't going to be he didn't work the normal
Right.
9-to-5 job and, things like that. So how did you handle that? Obviously younger in your life when you were young, when you were fresh out of college, wanting to do things that you want to do too.
Right. Yeah. I think going into it, I didn't have too many expectations, just because we kind of did start dating right when he got drafted. And so the first part I knew was a lot of a time away and whatnot. So I think I just went out there and I got a job. So I was busy too. So it was kind of a lot of nights and weekends when we were able to see each other. So yeah, I just knew that, it was a sacrifice. It's something he had to do. And you just got to kind of go along with the ride and just take what you can get and, go from there. And then, they get their bye weeks or they get their off season and that too. So you kind of just hold down and prepare for that.
Sure. So Steve was a good player, played a long time. He wasn't, he wasn't a Hall of Famer kind of guy, but he was a very consistent player. Were you ever nervous? Oh, you're never sure of, is Steve going to get cut? Steve going to make the team this year? I'm sure there were several years when you're not sure how that's going to go,
right.
Especially as he gets later in his career. How did that thought process go with you and Steve as far as talking about, hey, Jessica, we may have to pick up and move. We may have to, who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're always nervous. You never know. I mean, every training camp, he's got to get out there and prove himself that, he's eligible and he's capable and whatnot. And yeah, so you never know. I mean, it's every game, and preseason is kind of indicative. They kind of start the starters at certain time and then they, play someone else. And so it was his third year with San Diego when he was kind of playing in preseason towards the end of the fourth quarter and whatnot. And it was just, it wasn't based on his ability at all. It was just, kind of more, they had a tight end that they wanted to develop. And so, yeah, you're always nervous and you kind of get that feeling like, I kind of feel like we're not going to be here, let's just kind of get ready for this. And ended up going to Cleveland, and it was an amazing experience. So it was a better opportunity for him there anyway. So
right,
it worked out.
Yep, you guys like Cleveland and all that good
Love
stuff?
Cleveland. Yep, great football fans.
Very passionate fans, and that part of the country lives and dies in the Midwest with football and all that stuff. And probably good for you guys, a little closer to your home, back to
a little closer to home,
Minnesota and all that stuff. So probably good for you and your families.
Yep. Yeah, we enjoyed it. We love Cleveland. We were there. He played there 8 years, or 8 seasons. It was good.
Very cool. So Steve's career got cut short a little bit. He had a neck injury and he made the decision to stop playing. How tough of a decision was that for you guys as a family to make? And obviously it was probably more of a medical decision than anything else, I would assume.
Right. Right.
So how difficult with the reality of, okay, I'm not playing football anymore. That's the
right.
End of it.
Yeah, because they kind of, they go from high school to college to the NFL or, NFL. So they don't really get that time to think and say, well, what do I want to be when I grow up? I've only just done football. But at least in Steve's case, granted, it was, it was a neck injury and it was a knee, one of his game ending or career ending was a defender came and took out the side of his knee and he blew like everything in his knee. So as much as he wanted to continue, he could, but medically he couldn't. But he was fortunate enough to say, I want to retire. So that was good too on his sense. So we just he made the decision, and we had home in Minnesota, and we just retired there and just made it work. Yeah.
I got you. So how old are your children?
I have a 14-year-old girl, Madison, 10-year-old daughter, Presley, and a 4-year-old little man, Walker.
So sounds like you probably had 2 of the children while Steve was still playing.
We had our first when he was still playing, and then our second we had just after he retired. So
Okay.
just one.
So having your oldest while Steve was still playing, the challenges of that, and obviously with Steve still playing, how did you handle that? And with Steve being away a lot, and did you good support from both your families and helping you do all the things that you needed to do to raise your daughter?
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, granted, it was Ohio and Minnesota aren't super close, but it's doable. So yeah, it was an adjustment. First kid, you don't know down from up at that point. It's a sacrifice on everything, but it's worth it obviously in the end. So we had them, and we got really close to our neighbors there, and she was retired and she was looking for work, and she was kind of our Ohio grandma. So she helped out a lot too. So yeah, between the family and her, I mean, it was made it work. And she'd babysit during the games and when I go to the games and whatnot. So it was nice that family, so to speak.
Very cool. Very cool. Now that you got some older kids now, obviously I'm sure they're super into football, or
they're getting there. It's a little bit of both. I mean, the two girls, I would think boys maybe more so might be into it. I'd like to bring our little guy to the game, and he gets excited. There's just theatrical stuff, loud noises, and just it's entertaining. The girls are getting more so, and that's fun to see. So it's pretty fun. They get to see dad on the field now. He used to be, he used to be up in the box, so we could never see him. We'd have to get the binoculars out and try to look for him. But now you can see him on the field, and it's pretty cool for them. They enjoy it.
Very cool. Very cool. What as the mom and the wife, did you live and die every play when Steve was playing and coaching? Or are you pretty kind of mellow and you can keep everything under wraps? Or do you get super excited or upset when things are going good or not so good during the game?
Oh, I'm nuts. I'm crazy. I'm jumping up, I'm screaming, or I'm, trying to keep it in check when, something bad happens and whatnot. But it was definitely different when Steve was playing versus when he's coaching. I mean, it was way more intense then because it's his body's on the field, as you're just like, don't get hurt. And,
right. And every time he got hit hard, you're probably saying, please get up.
I know. Yeah. And then they go to commercial and you're like, no, I can't see, so you're just hoping if it's bad enough, someone will get a hold of you. But, and then comes back and you're like, oh, okay, good. He's on the, he's over there. He's in again. Or,
right.
So that was definitely a lot more stressful when he was playing different, versus now when he's coaching. But yeah, I would say I get excited, and it's fun. I mean, it's hard not to.
Yeah, this is how you guys make your living now. And,
yep.
The more wins, the better the living.
Heck yeah. He comes home, he's happy. That's awesome. That's all you can ask for.
And again, Steve's the tight ends coach for the Arizona Cardinals, the only undefeated team left in the NFL as we head into Week 5. A huge win over the weekend. They went and killed the LA Rams out in Los Angeles. Yep. And they're playing. The Cardinals are playing great, and they got a lot. The tight end caught a touchdown over the weekend.
Yeah, Max, Minnesota boy. Yeah, he's doing well. He's doing awesome. Yeah.
So kudos to Steve in the tight end room. All right. So when Steve did Steve always know he wanted to coach when he got done playing?
His role. When he played tight end, he was kind of always a coaching tight end. When he played with Kellen Winslow, Steve was kind of his mentor, kind of a, they'd say, his coaches would say, can you kind of work with Kellen a little bit, help him out and whatnot. So Steve kind of took on that role and he enjoyed it. So he's, transitioning from being a player to a coach, I feel like was easier for him. I don't know if he would agree with that, but I felt like that was a good transition for him, just in the sense that he was always kind of the role model, or I don't know if I want to say role model, but he kind of took certain players under his wing, and so that helped, I think.
Yeah. So he took a little break between playing and coaching. It was it looked like about a 3 or 4 year gap.
Yeah, it was 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that just more just to let his body, just to recover and live, help you raise the kids a little bit? Was that what the decision was with that?
Yeah, and it was kind of the, okay, I'm done football. What am I going to do with my life, kind of a thing. And then he got into real estate and did that. He did do some coaching at a college in Minneapolis, and it was only just for a few months. And then it was BA actually called Steve, and that's when he was with Indianapolis, and they got Steve out there to do an intern for coaching, and it was only a couple weeks. It wasn't very long.
Camp, like during training camp, they have like an internship program.
Yeah. So he went out there, and it was just a couple weeks, if not 3 weeks. I can't remember exactly how long, but so he did that. And then shortly after, that's when, BA was the interim or head coach, because Pagano got sick, and
right.
And then BA ultimately got the job the next year with Arizona. And then he called Steve, and he's like, I'm creating a position for you. I want you here, let me know what you think. And yeah, so that was a wild ride. So he did get a little bit under his belt with doing a little bit of college coaching, and then just went right into the NFL. And
yeah,
here we are.
Very, very different than most. He was fortunate that he got to start at the NFL, where most guys have to, jump around from college job to college job, before they get an opportunity. So that's great. How is the transition from, obviously the player schedule is a little more 9 to 5-ish than it is the coaching schedule. How have you adjusted to that, and the family's adjusted to dad's going to be gone later now, leave earlier and get home later than maybe he did when he was a player?
Yeah, it's definitely a transition. As a player, they get a day off. So it was always, you schedule everything on that day off. When he played, it was Tuesday. So let's schedule the C-section for Tuesday. Let's have our babies then, or anything important. It was like, dad's got Tuesday off. Definitely more time in the office. He's gone by 4, leaves about 4:30 in the morning, and he's home by 8:30 every night. So it does get tough. Fridays are a little more, lax, depending if he has to travel or not. But he's usually done by 2 or so he can be able to go get the kids from school, and then we could do date night that night if we want or whatnot. But so it's definitely a bigger sacrifice in the schedule, but we just go through it, and it's worth it because they're doing well. And
the good thing is the good thing is their off season's a little more downtime in the off season as opposed
off season's
to
great.
job.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. He doesn't have to do the recruiting like they do in college. Yep. And they get a generous amount in the summer, which is great. And then we come here to the cabin, and we just plop and just drop our things and just, enjoy time together and enjoy the family life. And so it's great.
Is your home base now out in Arizona? Is that where you guys are stationed at now?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. We have a home in Arizona, and then we've just recently, but in 2018, we bought a cabin here in Minnesota just because we were coming here every summer, and we'd either stay with my parents or his parents or whatnot. So it's just kind of nice to have a place of our own here. So that way we don't feel like we're imposing on people.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when you and Steve do get some husband and wife time, what are some fun things you guys like to do as a couple? Just little things in and around the Phoenix area and all that stuff when you're out there.
Let's see, what do we do? We usually just do date night. Just go somewhere we haven't gone in a while. Go find a fun restaurant. Maybe go to a movie. Concerts. Now that they're kind of coming up and back. If we can, find someone in the area or whatnot. Try to do that kind of stuff. We've done some staycations, which are fun. It's not really date night, but we like to go north part of Arizona up into Flagstaff. It's just beautiful up there. You get all the seasons up there. You get snow. It's beautiful. So you just try to be together, even if it's just going in the backyard and just hanging by the pool and just relaxing.
How cool is it now that with technology that even though Steve's not home, he can FaceTime the kids at night and things like that.
It is nice. Yeah.
At least you can say hello and he can see them and all that stuff as they're growing up.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's his way to be there without being there, and our kids we're staying pretty busy. Our 10-year-old and our 14-year-old, they're on the swim team. And so we're traveling a lot. Yeah. For going to meets, and I can FaceTime and I can be like, okay, watch, she's up for her 50 free, or, she's got to drop some time, and, he can sit there and watch it, or I can take a video just as much and send it to him too. So it definitely does help.
Very cool. Very cool. So let's talk about your interactions with other coaches' wives. I know you've been in Arizona for his whole career coaching wise. How was it as a player you and Steve together as a player? Did you guys intermingle with other players' wives and girlfriends very often and do things together? How did that work for you, being that you were a player's wife for such a long time in the league?
Yeah, I think you definitely find, with their schedules of just being so rigorous, you definitely I did at least take solace in knowing that you have family there. That's your family is your football family. They're going through the same thing, so it's nice to, have someone and just be like, hey, you want to come watch the movie or the game with us? You want to come over and watch the game with us and hang out, and the kids can play. And when Steve was playing, I just had my oldest was just a baby. So, and she was born just towards the last part of his career too. So, but it was fun, we'd ride share to the games, and so then that way we could ride back with our husband. And so that was nice. It was kind of the same concept, you rely on someone, or make good friendships, and then
Sure.
the guys are friends that they build relationships on the team with those guys, and you just get together and do some stuff. So it was definitely a saving grace. It was nice to have. So, and it was same concept as now. You just get together and hang out.
Coaches wise now that you got I'm sure you have a wide array of ages of the ladies. You got some younger ladies and some
younger and older, but everybody's great. I mean, it's just, like I said, one big football family. So, oops, sorry.
No, you're okay. Yeah.
Trying to swipe away my notifications. But yeah, it is amazing. I mean, it's nice to have that, especially, being someone new coming to the team. You don't know anyone.
Right.
It's nice to, have someone reach out and say, we're going to welcome Jessica to the team, and, let's get together. Here's a number, she has these kids, they're these ages. If anyone has someone similar,
right. Do stuff together that has kids with similar ages, and
right.
Whether it's
and it's good for the kids too. Yeah, it's good, and they get to make some new friends and do stuff together, and just feel like it's fun for them.
So not nervous, but how much trepidation did you have? Obviously, Arizona's had a couple coaching changes in the last, with BA leaving, retiring, and then there was another coaching change, and now Coach Kingsbury's here. Steve kind of made it through all those. So how nervous were you during those times when the coaching changes and you don't know what the future is going to hold?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it gets a little hairy. I mean, you're just like, okay, here we go, get ready. What's going to happen. So you definitely get nervous, because I mean, it's kind of rare that they just keep everyone. Usually they just kind of want to, come in with their whole new staff and everyone wants someone, but it's great to know that you got someone vying for you, just saying, hey, no, we like this guy, we like this coach, we want to keep him on. I want you to interview him and whatnot. So I mean, we've been very fortunate to be here. This will be his 9th season here with the Cardinals, and it's insane. It's amazing, and we're fortunate to still be here. We don't have to worry about moving, packing up, and finding all new doctors, all new schools, all new everything. Now that our kids are getting older, and it's definitely, and they've got their friends, and they don't want to leave their friends. And,
right.
They've got their swim team, and so it's fortunate.
No, Steve's definitely been a rarity as far as the coaching carousel, not having to move around a whole lot, being the same organization that long with a couple of coaching changes. That's definitely something to be proud of, and that's a credit to Steve. Obviously, people must think very highly of Steve as a tight, obviously coaching his position. Steve's obviously, I'm sure Steve has aspirations to be, whether it's be an offensive coordinator or potentially be a head coach at some point. Do you guys ever have those kind of talks about, hey, I'd love the opportunity down the road maybe to be the head coach or be the offensive coordinator?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he's focused on where he's at right now and doing the best with his position right now. So he's just like, I'm going to get through this, I'm going to do my thing. But I think ultimately, there's room for improvement. And I think he'd like to eventually see how far he can get, and whether it be offensive coordinator or head coach,
right.
You definitely want to get there in the right way, and I think he's doing it. He's putting his time in, he's trying, he's doing his best, and it's speaking well for him. I mean, being here this long, and it's been amazing. So
Very cool. Very cool. We're listening to the Powers on Sports podcast. We're here with Jessica Heiden, the wife of Steve Heiden, who's the tight ends coach for the Arizona Cardinals. And the Cardinals are off to a great start. Let's talk about Jessica a little bit. What did you get your college degree in?
I had a Bachelor of Arts. My emphasis was in Spanish.
Okay.
Haven't really done anything with it since.
Okay.
I had the opportunity. Probably had more opportunities being in San Diego now that I'm in Arizona, and it's been a while since lost some of it. So definitely need to find my way back towards that and or something else. But yeah, graduated with that, and love animals, love to do something with animals, something like that. But right now, just kind of doing the stay-at-home mom thing. And I got the 3 kiddos, got to get them here, there, everywhere. Yeah. So I think once little man, he'll be in kindergarten next year, so it'll be an all day, every day at school. So I think once he gets to school, I'll probably try to find something as far as work, something remote and. Flexible part-time.
You got your hands full already. You got plenty of your hands full already. So
definitely, yeah.
Let's talk about does Steve bring if they do when they do lose a game, does Steve bring all that home with him, or is he good at leaving all that stuff at the facility? How does Steve handle wins and losses?
He's real good. He's always, even as a player, he was good about it. I mean, he's like, well, I mean, what can you do by, sitting there and, going over it and being, mad about it? I mean, so he's very good about leaving it on the field or at the facility. We'll sit there like in the car ride home. I just kind of sit there and I play off his vibe, and I'll just be like, well, what'd you think or whatnot. And if he wants to talk, then I'm like, great, let's, that was a crazy play or this or that, or that was amazing or, whatnot. And so I kind of gauge it off and just kind of let him be the judge as far as, how much he wants to talk about. But no, he's very good about leaving it there. And I mean, he's not one to sit there and just go over it and swallow it and just let it ferment. He's good.
So when Steve's at home, what's 1 or 2 pet peeves that you always say, Steve, can you please take the trash out? Can you put your shoes away? Can you help with the laundry a little bit? What are the couple things that you just really drives you crazy about Steve when he's at home?
Steve, speaking of laundry, he's very good at starting the laundry, but just not finishing it. He'll leave it in there and just not get to it and like fold it and put it away. I'm like, oh, I see he started it. There's clean laundry laying all up in here, but yeah, so that might be one. And just, you kind of get in a routine and everything. And then I think once they're home, you're like, okay, we got to adjust this routine, or, I get into mom mode and I'm a certain way, and then he'll come in and, do it a different way. So you just, it's working with that too, just another being. Or shoes just dropped right there, that might be one, but otherwise he's helpful around the house. Definitely I'm fortunate in that he's good and helpful around the house as far as cleaning up and doing dinner and stuff.
Is Steve a good cook? Is he a grill master?
He's getting better. He's on this keto diet, so he's doing a lot of fish and salmon, and so he's trying some new recipes. But yeah, he's a good cook. He's good about. We have a lot of late nights with the kiddos. They get done at 7 p.m. at night with swim, and then so we're home usually by 7:20, 7:30. So it's if he's not there, it's me. It's a hurry up. Let's make something. Otherwise, if he's there, he'll just be like, I'll start something. I'll make tacos or salmon or make some hamburgers or something like that. So yeah, he's very good. So it's very nice.
Good. A couple more things, we'll get you out of here. Talk to me about a couple things that you and Steve like to do in the community, whether it's charities that are important to you or causes that are important to you, whether it's in Minnesota, Arizona, wherever you guys are, or Ohio. What are some things that are important to you guys?
Well, him being a player, he was always Tuesdays were their day off, and then that was their charity day. So he did multiple charities doing that as a player. I think now that he's a coach, well, obviously he doesn't have the days off and that option to go do that. But it's more of the, feed my starving children. That's something. I've recently just gotten into the CASA program. Chris Arians is big into that. And then she was the one that kind of led me towards that. So I'm registered as a CASA, which is a court-appointed special advocate, just a child in need in the foster system.
Yep.
So that's another thing. And they've had their benefits, the Arians, is when they were in Arizona. they'd have a benefit every year and we'd go to that. And so we'd donate to that, and they'd have silent auctions and whatnot. So that was fun. So I think that would be as of late, that would be our biggest charity event, I guess I would say. So yeah.
Where do you anticipate your home base being Arizona for kind of you're going to keep a home in Arizona? How do you think that's going to, is that where you think you're going to raise the family out in Arizona? Even if Steve were to go somewhere else, you guys going to keep a home base in Arizona, or are you going to kind of go wherever Steve goes?
I would say definitely go where he goes. Fortunately, we haven't had to make that decision yet, with since we haven't had to move.
Yep.
Because I know some, the cuts are in March. And then that's when people kind of have to go somewhere else. If we were to get released to a different or traded to a different team or picked up by a different team,
sure,
we haven't had that opportunity to say well, should I stay with the kids and let them finish out school,
right? Or
do I move with you right away and let them finish out school somewhere else and make new friends? So fortunately, I haven't been part of that where I haven't had to worry. But I think most likely we would probably move with him right away.
Yeah.
Just because we don't see him enough as it is. And then just to, make it that much, put that distance between us. We would definitely want to stay together as a family unit. And so
what are some things that you like to do if you had away from being a mom and all that? You look like you're pretty athletic. Do you like to get out and exercise and that kind of stuff? Or what are some things you like to do when you have some free time?
Yeah, I love being outside. Love going for a walk, depending on the weather. It's finally starting to get cool in Arizona, so that's nice. Yep. We're at the cabin right now, so just gonna get out. The kids are making a big leaf pile. We're working on finishing. We got to take these docks out of the water, the boats out. We're not doing that. We have a company that comes and helps us, but yeah, just being outside. I love going into the gym and working out. I love animals. I grew up with horses. So that's something I haven't done in a while, but if I had the opportunity or the chance, that's something I'd love to do, is just go, lease a horse. If we had the place to, board one or keep one, I would love to do something like that. Is just go out and just go be in the outside, be in the elements, just riding a horse. That's one of my favorite things. So yeah, I would love to do that too.
I bet you don't miss those Minnesota winters, huh?
No, I do not at all. No, I miss the concept of the snow. It's so pretty and everything, but it just lasts so long and it gets so cold. So yeah. I love Arizona winters. They're perfect. You can drive 3 hours north and get some snow and then come right back home and,
110.
Be a little warmer.
Yeah. 110.
Yeah. Well, not in the winter. It's
right.
About in the 60s. Yeah. But yeah, it's getting better now. It's in the high in the 90s right now, so it's nice.
So yeah, I'm down here in Tampa, so yeah, we're very similar to you guys. We don't hot all the time, and then a little bit of cool in the fall and in the winter. So Jessica, great meeting you. Thanks for the time. Awesome journey with you and Steve. Keep it up. Keep up the undefeated season.
I hope so.
With the Cardinals. Good luck with the girls and swimming and all that good stuff. And it was a real pleasure meeting you.
Thanks, Jason. I appreciate this. This was fun.
Yep. And have a great week. And who does Arizona got this week?
The 49ers this weekend. We got the 49ers. So we'll see. It's a division game.
That's it. They count double. That's right. I think the game's in Arizona. It's a home game, right?
It's in Arizona. Yeah. And we'll see. As far as I heard, Garoppolo might be injured.
Yeah,
but
I know. It's iffy.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But either way.
Real quick, do you go to all the home games?
All the home games. Yep. All the home games. I usually, I go to all the home games. Yeah. I was going to talk about traveling and whatnot, but home games are just the easiest. Yeah.
I was going to say, usually once a year, a team will bring the wives on a road trip or something sometimes. And so, every team's different how they handle that. But I know sometimes you hear stories that they'll bring the wives or the family on a trip or something once a year. But so, well, great luck. Go win a Super Bowl for us.
Thank you. I hope so.
Except when they play the Bucs. I'm a Bucs fan.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Did we play them this year?
I don't think so.
I can't remember if we did. Yeah, I don't think we do.
Yeah,
well, maybe we will. Who knows?
In the playoffs. That's right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, have a great week and good luck.
Thanks, Jason. You too. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye. You're listening. Bye-bye. Powers on Sports Podcast. We'll be right back.